Hello, welcome back everybody. Let's have a look at Bitcoin. We're only going to look at Bitcoin because the rest of the market's going to follow. I can do some other videos, and maybe I will once I've had a cup of tea and relaxed a little bit. But for the moment, the video, which was a really big video that I made yesterday, which incorporated Link, Matic, XRP, something else as well, I can't remember, but generally speaking I was looking at a handful of coins and to say that yes, even though they all have very different charts, they're going to follow Bitcoin one way or another, and they will recover in different ways. But the main thing that we're going to be looking at is Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's the one that's going to dominate the market at the moment and dictate the way things are going. So in a nutshell, and like I said, I'll just keep this video very short really. In a nutshell, what we've had over the last couple of months basically is an upwards trending level of support and a downtrending level of resistance that's been over 2 years long. So and that resistance we touched here, and just for a little bit of perspective, and I go on about this all the time, but we touched it here on 20,000, massive retrace, but that was a parabolic move. You could call this parabolic too. We touched it here and a massive retrace down to around about 6,600. We did come down obviously lower than that, but that's obviously because the world came down at the same time, so it was driven by that. The bottom on this would have been 6,600. We would have perhaps maybe come down to test that level, maybe around 7,700, but we shouldn't have come down to do this. This is a direct result of the outbreak. So back to where we are right now, upwards level of trending support that's held quite good, and we've had a nice little range to play around in. But at the moment, we broke down from this the other day. We were bought straight back up, which was very nice. To be honest with you, that could have continued. I had every reason to believe that it would, but looking at the state of these candlesticks at the moment, they're extremely weak, and this is what I was saying yesterday, they're very weak at the moment. They're not making any effort whatsoever to make another run. They're tired out. This range is tired. That rejection there was so strong that it's basically shut this thing down for the moment. And again, you know, we can look at this on a smaller time frame. We'll go to a 4 hourly, so we've still got that range that we're playing in, and what we see here is that we've broken down from it again. We're beneath the itchy cloud. We've still got, you know, moving averages in relatively good places, but it's not going to look good for very long. In fact, if we go down to even lower time frames, which isn't really that relevant, we've got at this stage now we've pretty much got a negative spread on the 1 hour. That's no real big deal. We can recover from that on the 2 hour. We also have a negative spread. So the 4 hour holds a little bit more relevance to us, and at the moment we're kind of making that transition from positive to negative, which could suggest a downtrend. Now the fact is we've broken out of this support, so this support is basically irrelevant now, and we'll keep it in here for reference because it could actually turn to resistance. But for the moment, well, from this point forward, I'd say that this trend is finished. We can create a new trend. New trends get created every day, but because we've broken out of this this one that we've mapped, for the moment we're just going to have to wait and see where we're going to go, and then see if we can map any kind of trajectory out of that. But it looks like we're starting a downtrend now, and I wouldn't be bullish on this at the moment. This could be the beginning of a downtrend that could take weeks, maybe months. And because Bitcoin is now so tied into traditional markets, you have to bear in mind what's going on in the world right now, which is a hell of a lot. And you know, everything costs money. When you turn on the telly and you see all this madness and uncertainty and inflation, deflation, you know, just injections of cash to stock markets, the printing of tether, the destruction of cities, the chaos, it doesn't come for free. And every aspect of everything I see on the news is just, it just looks like people just burning money. Yeah, the world, it's like, well, without going into any further details, the world's in chaos right now, and we may not be feeling the full effect of it yet, but we certainly will. because the world has to turn economically, and stability has to it's got to come back. At the moment, everything's so unstable, socially and economically, that's going to have a price. Do you know what I mean? And it's going to cost, and things are going to start to feel that soon, in my opinion. Anyway, back to the chart, which is what I do best, rather than speculate, and try and guess lottery numbers. We've broken this. This doesn't mean anything anymore. We're going to have to wait for the trend to show us what it wants to do. But for the moment, I would not be surprised at all if we break down beneath 9,000 and stay down there for a little while, testing lower levels of support like 8,800, 8,600. Maybe to this bad boy here, which is 7,700, which is where I would expect it. Maybe to bottom out, depending on how the rest of the world looks as well. If that were to break, then we're 6,600 again. But given that we made this low here, and like I say, that shouldn't have happened, but it did. 6,600 may be also broken. But this is all a long way away at the moment, and like I say, we are starting. It would appear that we have started a new downtrend. And we've got to work out where that's likely to go. Now, on my video yesterday, I made it clear that I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is what I like to do, and this is where I put my money. And my money yesterday was in shorts, and I'm holding those shorts on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. And obviously, given what we're looking at now, I'm quite happy with the way that that's panning out. My stop losses are actually very tight now that this move has played out. Prior to that, they were extremely loose because I did feel that there was also an opportunity for it to break outside of this Bollinger Band again. So my stop losses were just outside of that Bollinger Band, but now I'm pretty comfortable, and my stop losses are basically at break even. So see how this one plays out, see if we get a mega bounce. The first opportunity for a bounce would be and I mean for a decent bounce, it's going to be 9,000 flat, or this wick here where we bounced from before, the obvious choices. So basically 9,000 flat, or 8,900. I would expect a decent bounce around there, and I'm talking about a decent bounce, not just a flatlining level of support, what we might see temporarily, for the rest of today, maybe going into tomorrow. I'm talking about a bounce worth trading. But again, I'm not a financial advisor. This isn't financial advice. At the end of the day, I've said it a number of times already. I do expect that this is the beginning of a downtrend. We will be battling out some of these areas if this upwards trend of support clearly turns to resistance, which to be honest with you, I think it certainly will do. It's over for the bulls at the moment. That said, at the moment on the 4 hourly, we've broken down beneath the 200 exponential as of just now, really, and this will also become resistance or support. At the moment, it looks, to be honest, it looks like it's resistance already, but that can obviously change. Go to a daily, it'll give us more of a idea of where we're likely to head. So green. Here we're talking 9,100, whites we're talking 8,600. So these are my areas of interest. If we bounce from here, fine. If we're rejected from there, good for shorting. But these areas here would probably be supports temporarily for bounces. Anyway, a really boring video for you there, but just an update, as obviously the one I made yesterday was a bit more in depth, and I suppose if you missed that video, then you may have missed your opportunity to see how it would unfold, because my prediction appears to be coming true now. But again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm never going to tell you what to do with your money unless you want to donate to me, and then I'll give you my Bitcoin wallets and whatnot. And otherwise, just be very careful and safe, because I expect some extreme volatility both up and down and down and up. This is going to be a bit crazy at the moment. You can hear all my alerts and alarms going off at the moment, because it's price actions kicking off, but I'm already way ahead of them. I don't need those alerts. I'm glued to the screen because I knew that this was going to happen. Anyway, thanks for watching. Take it easy. Have a good one.